I think there are some key themes that do weave through all of our stories. And I think one is that there is no straight line. There's no straight path. Or I should say there's few straight paths. Because when I started university, I had no idea I would be an elected official. And I was hopelessly shy, and I hated speaking, and I really enjoyed reading, and very, very, I just couldn't imagine a career in public service in an elected capacity. So, and I think part of the reason that I am where I am, I can say with confidence, is because I was surrounded by strong women. And I think it's always important to recognize your strengths. And when I think about the strong women, and I've been reflecting on it recently, one of them is my mother. And my mom, she's 70, and she's been battling alcohol, drug addiction, and schizophrenia for 40 years. And she's overcome incredible hurdles. And when you think about mental health and surviving and struggling through mental health, to be 70 and to be part of my kids' lives and to teach my children empathy, you remember leadership is found and strength is found in so many different ways. So it's always really important to remember the strength that you bring to the table and the way that you change lives. And Esther talked about changing lives. And you have no idea the impact that you have on people. And to be able to have courage and to stand up and take risks. And the fear, everyone talks about the fear of failure. And it is really, the fear of failure, my God. The people that are telling you no, sometimes they're just naysayers, and sometimes they're just trying to protect you from the fear of the failure, because the failure can be really hard. And picking yourself and dusting yourself off and trying again to fight for what you believe in can be a very overwhelming experience. But it's the kind of thing that if you believe in it, you should continue to do, because it's not the act of failing, it's the act of picking yourself up and recovering from it is where you get your strength. And it allows you to be confident. And also, when you find your passion and you're doing things that are important to you, you find ways to work through all of the noise and figure out how you're going to get it done. And if you're lucky, it's a straight line. Most often it's not. And so, and never underestimate the value of every experience that you have that leads you to the place where you're eventually going to be. And so my route was, again, the other strong woman in my life was Gail Peach. I don't know, some of you may know her. She works at the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. So she hired me at the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care to work on rebuilding the long-term care stock in the province, because there was a view that there wasn't enough places for people who needed long-term care facilities to be. So I worked with her on that project. And then at that time, there was an opportunity to run for public office. And she encouraged me to take that opportunity and said that she would give me a leave of absence, which was a little unusual in my circumstance. And then throughout it all, it was, I would come to work and check in. She's like, how you doing? Are you going to win? I'm like, no. I'm running against a 30-year incumbent. My campaign team is my husband. I have no money. And my 80-year-old dad is pounding my signs in. So I don't have a chance. And she pulled out her checkbook and she wrote me a check. She said, yes, you do. Keep going. Don't ever give up on yourself. And as I say, I was more surprised than anyone when I won. But from that opportunity, recognize that if you believe in something, you will overcome the hurdles. And you find yourself in the situation that you sometimes struggle to believe that you're there, but you're there for a reason. And remember that you're always there for a reason. Either you're inspiring somebody, you're doing something, you're saying something, and sometimes it's hard. But if you don't do it and say it and you aren't there, who will be? And so it's easy to stay silent. Sometimes it's harder to speak up, but it's so important to speak up. Because whether it's women's health, transportation, funding, fundraising, changing lives, helping youth at risk, if you don't do it, it won't get done. And again, I said to my son, I've got two beautiful little children, 7 and 9. They're both adopted. And one day my son came home from school, and he was quite upset because the kids were saying to him, oh, you're adopted, you're adopted. And he knows he's adopted, and we've talked about it very openly. And I was exploring with him, why are you upset by this? This isn't new. We've talked through this. What is it that's bothering you? And help me understand. And he said, well, it's because I'm different. And I said to my son, exactly. It's easy to be the same, but you don't get your strength from being the same as everybody else. You get your strength from being different. So celebrate what makes you different and make sure everybody knows it. So I've been lucky in my life, and I hear the stories and incredible contributions that my co-panelists have made, and I feel like I don't have that much to add because, I've been fortunate that I have been surrounded by strong women that have been strong leaders that have taught me about risk and failure and opportunity and dusting yourself off and moving forward and believing in and following your heart and sticking to what you believe in, and it will work out. And there are lots of days when you think, oh my God, really? Because there's got to be a better book I can read than this chapter that's playing out of my life. But everything happens for reasons. And as I just want to leave with you, if they're not immediately clear, they will become clear if you just stay true to what you believe in and you have the courage to continue to move forward. You will make the change that you want to make in the world that you live in. Thank you.
Wow.